Well, we finally got the thriller that this tournament wanted. Australia beating India by 9 runs in front of a crowd of more than 14,000 people. Now, that was the last group game for both of these sides. What next for India?
Well, they just have to now hope for a Pakistan win against New Zealand. Uh, they don't have the fate in their own hands, but it's something that they'll have to live with now. I mean, in terms of preparation, they did whatever they could specifically to try and go one step further in the semi-final finish last year. They also lost the semi-final last year to Australia at the World Cup, so they did whatever they did to get past that. But it's a reality that they'll soon have to contend with. The good thing is a 50 over World Cup is just less than a year away, so there's something to look forward to straight away. Amol Mazumdar repeatedly spoke at the press conference about how special this group is. Maybe it's time for them to, stand up and prepare towards next year's World Cup. Having said that, I mean, this game was obviously equally chaotic in the build-up for Australia. I mean, they lost Alyssa Healy to injury, and we only knew that in the lead up to the match. New captain in Thalia Medra coming in, a lot of chaos around stepping into the last moment. However experienced you are, and how much ever you know that you're part of the leadership group, coming in and at the last minute must have brought with it its own set of challenges. What did you make of Australia's plans?
Well, if it was me, I would have been rattled by the crowd. Like, it was like being thrown into a lion's den. It was just electric, and I couldn't hear a single voice for Australia. It was very pro-India crowd. So that in itself, I found quite intimidating, just sitting in the stands. The fact that this side were able to overcome that, not to mention the loss of their regular captain, complete switch around to their middle order, top order. We had Grace Harris opening with Beth Moody instead of Alyssa Healy. She's done that before. That wasn't so left field, but that middle order really switched around, and they just took it all in their stride. Like you say, it wasn't smooth sailing. There was a lot of chaos. Let's put it that way. But I think Talia McGrath's been in this situation before. They've also been in this situation before against India. Every time they play them in India, they get this sort of a crowd reaction, and they just know how to handle it. And I think it's testament to the steel of this side that they're able to just block that out and do what they always do, which is seem to have an answer for everything. That said, India, they didn't this time around. Where do you think things went wrong for them?
I think they were just a little frazzled right from the start. You saw them dropping catches. Richa Ghosh was struggling to gather the ball. A few overthrows at the start. And then when they came out chasing, it almost seemed as if, all their eggs were in one basket. They were looking at Shefali Verma to deliver that start, and once she fell, it almost felt as if it was up to the other two, Smriti and Harmanpreet Kaur. And I was just wondering if there could have been a sense where they probably missed a trick by not upsetting the Australia's plans by throwing in a left-hander a lot higher than they did. Maybe Deepti Sharma, give her a mandate to just go out and hit a few, just to put the pressure back, just to counter Australia's spin strength with Sophie Molino, the left-hander bowling in, with the angle coming in. So maybe they could have tried something different. But having said that, I think the lower order batting depth kind of was found wanting. A number of players in the lead up to this tournament only built up through camps rather than practicing. There was an 8-0 to Australia where none of them were sent, so maybe that's a missed opportunity. But that's something that we'll only know when the dust settles on this campaign. But I think overall the batting was largely disappointing. You expected them to go up. Richa Ghosh's run out. I mean, a batter who's capable of hitting big sixes, attempting single that was non-existent, kind of summed up India's day for me.
Sure. So as you mentioned, it's out of their hands, and we just have to wait and see what happens. We'll be back with more once we know more.